Hi everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I am here to do the Tenacious Tuesday reading. So this one is on balancing lifestyle, so I'll do a focus card and then I will do two options. Keep in mind that these are just two options out of an infinite number of options. The idea is just to get you guys focused. So let's see, what is the focus of the day for balancing lifestyle? Universe, what messages do you have for balancing lifestyle? Messages for balancing lifestyle for this week, please. Messages for balancing lifestyle for this week. We have the Seven of Cups. All right, what is our first option? We have the Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Ooh, interesting. And then what is our second option, please? Oh my goodness, that's too many cards. Okay, what is our second option, please? We have the Five of Wands. All right. Okay, so for balancing lifestyle, we have the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups, for any of you who've watched me before, you know that I read this as emotional overwhelm. This is the emotional overwhelm card. Um, so what we have here is a guy who's looking at, he's looking at all these cups in the cloud, and it's like he has a lot of options. He has a lot of possibilities. All of these possibilities are like will bring some sort of emotion. Um, I I usually read this as like all of these emotions are like within this dude right now. And so it's kind of like difficult to make a decision because when you're overwhelmed that way, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced emotional overwhelm, but it's kind of like hard to pick out like what you're feeling, why you're feeling, where's it, what are the facts here? So you kind of have to focus more on that logical aspect. What are the facts? So this is kind of like being emotionally overwhelmed with your life. This is emotionally overwhelmed with your situation. Too many choices, too many options, causing confusion, causing like a big ball of chaos basically inside of you in your emotions. The first the first option, we have the Four of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So the Four of Cups is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a waiting period, kind of like a stagnation period. There are cups in the picture, but it's not like anything's really flowing. It's like you're in like an emotional stalemate almost. Like you're kind of just like, and so sometimes this Seven of Cups energy will cause this Four of Cups energy, if that makes sense, just because you're kind of like, it's too emotionally overwhelming. So what do? You either numb or you like avoid it, you like drown it out with something else, whatever. With the Six of Pentacles is my empowerment card, personal empowerment card. And so basically the Six of Pentacles is like learning how to balance out your personal power versus like the power that you don't have control over, which would basically be like other people's power, the universal power. And so this is kind of like saying, like, using your power for your highest good and using your power for other people's highest good. So having like sensitivity with the power, but also on the flip side, not exploiting other people's power, the universal power, or so it's kind of like having that delicate balance between like, what do I have control over? Where is my control in the situation? And how can I live with myself? Um, when I execute this control. So it's kind of, so with the Four of Cups with the Six of Pentacles, this is about recognizing, okay, I'm not flowing. I'm emotional overwhelmed, so I've kind of like turned everything off. I'm feeling stagnant. I'm kind of like in between all these emotions in this emotional stalemate. And I need to figure out how to gain my control back, and how to figure out like what I want versus what other people are telling me to do, or what, you know, I feel is expected of me. So it's kind of like in that place where you're kind of like taking that time out, but you also need to focus on where your power is in the situation so you can get yourself out of this emotional overwhelm. With the Five of Wands is really about struggle. It's about conflict with others. Usually it's about conflict with others. Usually it can be about inner conflict, but it's usually about conflict with others, usually specifically to competition with others. Maybe you're not feeling like your voice is heard or your voice is even recognized, or like maybe you're just feeling like people don't even take you seriously. Um, and fives can also be about change. So this is also sometimes we have to go through that struggle before we change. So like I said, this could be an internal struggle. This could be like, okay, like I feel like I'm struggling. It's like recognizing that emotion. Okay, this is a struggle. I'm fighting myself. Why am I fighting myself? And so kind of like walking yourself through that, because as I said, fives can represent change, and so it's kind of like, okay, what do I need to change in this situation? What do I need to do differently? How can I think about this differently? So yeah, that's beautiful, and this is kind of like when you are fighting the Seven of Cups energy, you will end up in this Five of Wands energy every single time, and so yeah, so the best thing that you can do at that point is just recognize, okay, I'm struggling with this. Why am I struggling with this? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need differently here? And then we do have the Five of Swords on the bottom, which is very interesting because swords usually represent like our thoughts or our, like cognitive processes. And but specifically with the Five of Swords, it's usually about knowing when to give up. Like it's about, how some people are like super, super stubborn, and they will just fight till the end, and maybe even fight to the point where they're not really um, being true to themselves anymore. The Five of Swords kind of speaks to that. The energy of the Five of Swords is kind of like, okay, know when to like lay down your sword and leave, because we just need to cut our losses here. We're not going to win this battle. So just recognize that you did the best that you could and move on, is kind of the energy of the Five of Swords. But it can also be, about mental conflict. So it could be like, sometimes, when you have the Seven of Cups and there's so many different things going on emotionally, it causes like this mental state of conflict, because so how the brain is wired is we are actually unable to when our rational brain is working, our emotional brain is kind of like turned off. And when our emotional brain is like going full speed, our rational brain doesn't work. So I don't know if you've ever experienced somebody who's been like super, super angry, and it's like you cannot rationalize with them, like you cannot reason with them at all. It's because how our brain is set up, how the human brain is set up, is we can only focus on that emotional brain, or we can only focus on the the logical brain. And so sometimes when when you have this Seven of Cups energy, which is more about emotions, it can cause your mind to not really be able to strategize or logic anything. I don't know if that I'm not using that the right way, but I don't really care. Um, so so this is kind of like, you know, with the Five of Swords, it's interesting to me that this Five of Swords came up just because, I think this is saying, like, just remember when you're in this emotional state, it's really difficult to be logical. That's why, you know, it's always like focusing on the facts, trying to I don't know if you've ever noticed, but if somebody's really angry and you ask them a question that's kind of like a critical thinking question, they'll automatically not they'll be stop being angry, and they'll just totally de-escalate because they cannot use their emotional brain anymore when they're focusing on, a logical task like that. So I'm going to pull an energy card. I love this energy. I love this. So yeah, it's kind of like, balancing out your emotions, balancing out your mental state. And so as you can see, like everything's connected. And even where we believe that our power is, even where we tell ourselves, our control is in life, is connected to our emotions and our cognitive state. So it's kind of interesting. So, all right, so let me pull one of these energy oracles for you guys. We have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, number 39. So I will read that one. I'll read the affirmation. This is self-expression and speaking your truth. My throat chakra is open to its perfect healthy state, spinning with the beautiful energy of freedom and self-empowerment. I am free to express myself in every way. So yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like this is where your control is. You could still express yourself. It's just that you need to understand where your control, like that whatever you choose to say or however you choose to express yourself, that is your power. That is your control. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I love this message. It's beautiful today. Thank you for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys later.